Okay, mic check. Looks good.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Hi, I can hear you.
Oh, cool. Can you see my screen okay?
Hold on a second. I gotta get to the right place here because I answered it without being in our conversation. Oh yeah, I can see the link you gave me, and I will click on it. And I can see, welcome back, Clausius.
Awesome. All right, what were you wanting to look at today?
Actually, what I'd like to do is more level 4 problems. We can go to categories, choose all categories, and level 4. And if we come across one we did last time, hopefully I can solve it fast.
Hmm.
They are randomly presented, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
So,
completely random. They finally got the Go Congress registration open for AGA. I don't know if you
yeah, I
know.
saw that. And I took a look at the apartments. And I am thinking that I might be willing to stay on campus because if I do an apartment, even if I don't know who's going to be in the other room, it's still 2 private rooms with private baths.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
that's not bad.
I have not looked at the housing situation, but I'm assuming that one's the more expensive one. I'm assuming there's still dorms.
There are, but the dorms aren't like, it's not like a bunch of rooms on a hall with a communal bath. It's 2 rooms with 2 beds each with 1 bath. So, like, if you've got 4 people who want to stay together on the cheap, that's
Mhm.
pretty good. But if you end up having to share it with people you don't know, not quite as good.
Mhm. Okay. Let's see what we got.
Okay. All right. So, well, we want to keep white from living. And
Hello, gold.
if white gets to play S19, then even if they lose the other stones, they get to live. So, and I'm not seeing how I can totally kill it.
Remember their vital points, your vital point.
Yeah, right, right. So I would want to start at S19.
Okay.
So if I play S19, then what does white play? If white plays Q18, I can play R19.
There's an easier move than R19. I think what you said works though,
Um,
but there should be an easier move than R19.
oh,
So
well,
S19,
yeah, I can play S18
right,
because I still have 2 liberties.
right.
So yeah, so if I play S19 and they play Q18, I can play S18.
So they have to play S18.
So they have to play what?
S18.
They have to play S18. So I play S19, they play S18. And so then if I play R19 after that, and they take it. No, they can't take it because it's got, well, I can put it in Atari with Q19.
Mm-hmm.
But then if I take at Q17, they can't connect at Q18. I don't think.
So
So,
the way I would approach this is technically Go problems are almost always going to be the vital point. But in a real game, what you would do is you would try to reduce the ice space first. So you would play
right.
Q17, and then you would
Okay.
expect them to block at Q18.
And then S19.
And then
just works.
S19 does not work because they play R19.
Oh, they play R19. Okay, so let me think. So black Q17, white Q18. Okay.
Well, let me keep going because you had it right. So when I reduce like this, the eye is too big. So that means the normal reducing move isn't good enough.
Oh, okay.
So we might find this reducing move because cutting it off is a self-Atari. So if I play right here, it looks like we're in a good position because if they reduce or whatever and connect, then you can take the vital point.
Right.
The problem with this move is what if they just sacrifice half the grouping to live?
That's what I thought they would do.
Right. So that's why you have to play S19 first.
Right.
And then no matter what they play over here, you have S18, and that's only one eye. So they have to play S18 or R19. If they play S18, you can go back to your reducing move, and if they play R19, you can go back to your reducing move. But the idea is, once you play the vital point, try to reduce again. So I think when you played S19, they play S18, you play R19. I think that also works, but after S19, usually it's better style or habit to reduce next.
From the outside.
Yeah, if you can reduce from the outside, you want to reduce from the outside.
Right. And now go back, and it's corner life and death. Check the category.
Yep. Corner life and death. I want to say it's level 4 because you were able to solve it with a little bit of struggle.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now, black has 3 liberties on the 3 stones. White has 3 liberties on the row of stones. White needs to get 2 eyes, and the only way to do that is to capture the black stones near the corner, because there's no way to make 2 eyes with the area that they're already occupying. So, black needs to surround and capture white before white can surround those black stones on the left side. So I don't want to approach it from the left because I'm reducing my own liberties if I do that, I think. And if I play F17, I suppose white. See, if I play F17 and white plays D17, then I can continue to push in at E17. And if white connects, I just take it off. So I'm wondering if a better response for white to f17 might be to play e17. But then black can play d17 and white still has to fill at e18. So I think either either response for white isn't working. So if I play f17 and neither d17 nor e17 work, then maybe white can play b18. But black can still play e17. So I think that black should just play f17 to start.
You are 90% correct.
Okay, what did I miss?
This one.
Oh, okay. Well, I did see that move, and I figured that black was going to now play e17. So what does oh, throw in? Okay, that's what I missed. I missed the throw in.
No, that doesn't work either.
Oh, yeah, because okay. But what about just playing e17 after? Oh, it still gets taken.
Yeah, you still take this down.
Yeah, it still gets taken.
So,
Okay, so
almost.
I didn't see that.
So everything you read is correct. You just have to start from this side, and then all of the stuff you read on the inside is correct.
Okay.
You know what the answer is here?
All right, let me think. It can't be f17 because I don't think because white would just take the stone at c19. So it's got to be e18, but then there's a co.
You're missing something. Because co is not necessary.
Okay, all right. So, okay, I guess what I'm missing is that it doesn't matter if white takes the stone at c19 because I can still play e18 and take 4 stones.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And this one, I believe, should be connecting because we're not capturing the whole route. Someone said no sound, but I definitely have sound.
So, are they hearing me talk?
Gold has been watching, and he hasn't said no sound, so I'm pretty sure the sound is probably just the user.
I think that they must mean they're not hearing stone sounds. Are there supposed to be stone sounds? I don't even remember.
Yeah, there are, and I can hear them, but I'm not capturing my desktop audio. I'm capturing Discord and my microphone.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Okay, so this one's connecting, and I already checked it is connecting. However, if you notice right here, there's more mistakes than solved. So
Right.
I would
So
move
it's
that
probably
up to
probably
level 5.
5, yeah. And I definitely missed stuff on this.
Yeah, so it's almost your level, but just a little too high, which I think makes it level 5. And I think that makes sense. Okay. Oh, I got this one.
All right. So, all right. If black plays r17, white has to take at u16. And then if black throws in at s16, white has to take at T16. And then I think black plays R15. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. There's no stone at T14. So, darn it.
I think you were on the right track.
Yeah, but I still think R17 is an important move. Because if white gets to play R17, they're alive. Now, of course,
The
suppose-
problem is 9Q to 5Q, or 9Q to 6Q. And that's what we're making sure of, is making sure the problems are leveled correctly.
yeah, based on my ability or inability to solve
Hello,
and how
Fredman.
hard it seems. Plus, it's just like Sumigo practice for me too. Well, okay, let me just think out loud here. If I fill a liberty at T14, then white gets to play either R17 or R15. And either way, they're alive. So I don't think I can fill that liberty immediately. Oh. Let's see. Okay, if I R17, we've already established that white has to Q16. This should be easy. This should be easy, but it's not.
The hint is we're trying to make a false eye.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
I know that. So let's see.
So how do you go about making it false, and what do they do to prevent it?
Oh, okay. I know. Okay, so well, what would really be nice is if I would get to play R17 and R15.
Okay. And what is the response to R15?
Okay, the response to R15 is to play Q16.
No, that's the response. So R17, Q16, R15.
Oh, wait. I thought you meant start at R15. Okay, so I start at R17 and white plays Q16.
And then you're wanting to play R15 to get that false eye.
Then I play R15. Now white has a stone at Q16 already. And they're not an Atari because there's no stone at P16 because it's been captured. And there's a liberty at R16. But
where do you think the false eye is going to be?
Okay. Now I think I got it. The false eye can't be in the P16 area because white already has a stone at Q16. So I R17, white Q16, I, R15. And, but if white then plays, okay, all right, something's got to be false if those two are both occupied. So R17, Q16, R15. Now, then S16, white takes at T16 and black T14.
Mm-hmm. So what does white play to prevent that? Because he gave black two moves in a row.
Okay, so if I play T, okay, so R17, U16, R15, then white plays S16.
Uh-huh.
And
Would you say that's a real eye at that point?
um, I I thought once they played S16. Wait a second. No, because after they play S16, I can play T14.
That doesn't matter.
No,
S16
it
makes
doesn't
it
matter.
S16 makes it a real eye.
S16 makes it a real eye. Okay.
But we've identified white's move. Now, do you remember the opponent's vital point is my vital point?
Well, I remember the concept,
Okay,
but
so white's
but
vital point was.
oh, okay, I get it. 1, 2, 3 reading. So instead of playing, oh, wait a second. Black can't play U16 directly because it's an illegal move.
Yeah, we can't do that.
No, we can't do that.
So R17.
Okay. Well, white doesn't have any choice but to play Q16, do they?
Right. What was the other move that white played?
The other move, oh, S16.
So what if we play that
Okay,
instead?
so now I get it. So black plays R17, white plays Q16, and black plays S16.
And what do you notice?
Okay. R17, Q16, S16. That, well, that white wants to play R15 now. And is there a reason why they can't? Because I can't tell.
Yes. It looks like it's just a slightly I think it's one move too far for you to read.
Right.
But
Okay.
let's place it like this, and now what do you see?
Now, um, oh, uh, well, if I play S16 now, which is what I wanted to play, then okay, what I notice now is that after I play S16, white can't play R15 because I'll just take 2 stones. And
Right.
if white plays T16 to save the 2 stones, I get to play R15, and then it's a false eye.
Right. Putting
Yeah.
that into Atari is the key. So if we go
Okay.
back and we do the exact same thing from this side, you see how these 2 stones are not in Atari
Right.
and they connect. That is the big difference here, is this Liberty.
Right.
So you have to do this, and this puts these 2 stones into Atari. Now,
Right.
remember, if we played here, they connect. So that their vital point is my vital point.
Okay. Right. Now, I see that this must have been a uh, recently categorized problem because
Hmm.
there's only 7 solved and 6 mistakes. Now, it may be that I have a blind spot on this that made it harder for me than for other people. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's a level 4 or do you think it's a level 5?
I want to call it a level 4. Chat, do you think it should be 9 to 6Q or 4Q to 1Q? We can ask chat. And while we're waiting on their response, what category do you think it should be?
Mm, that's hard. I don't know. Throw in?
I would label it as false eye
False eye. Yeah, sure.
because we made
Yeah,
a false eye.
false eye.
Yep,
Good.
that's what it is. They said 5 and 7 Q or 9 to 6Q. 9 to 6Q also from Luke. Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be. I think it was maybe just one move too far for you, but I think it's solvable for level 4.
Yeah.
And if you were to come back to this again, I think you would immediately know the concept and go for and be able to solve it.
Yeah.
So if I gave this to you next week, I think you would be able to solve it. Just you would recognize that this is after a false eye.
Right.
So I want to say it's level 4. That is
Yeah.
what I think it is.
Yeah. I tend to agree.
Okay, next one. This immediately stands out to me. So I think this is over level. So we're probably going to have to lower
Right.
this to 15 to 10Q.
I tend to agree because, okay, I think that the first move here has got to be R16.
So
And
this is a good habit builder, and this is something I think people don't do enough of. So what you can do here is the first move you should actually consider is T15. That is
right.
because
Well,
expanding your eye space
oh, okay.
should be
Yeah,
the
I get
first
it.
thing that we think about.
Right. So let's follow through with that logic. We
Mhm.
expand our eye space by playing T15, and then we notice that if white gets to play R16,
Mhm.
we're going to have to answer it at R17, and then white will get to play S16.
Right.
And
And then
so
our
the
opponent's vital
reason,
point is our vital point.
right, and the reason I immediately said R16 is because I saw the Atari. And
Mhm.
so I wasn't really thinking, well, gee, can I make the eye space bigger? But I probably should have looked at that
In a real
first
game,
and then seen
you
the
want to
problem
think
with it.
expand the eye space. Is there something wrong with it? And usually there's not. Honestly, usually expanding the eye
Right.
space is the answer. But a lot of the times, you will find that hey, something's wrong with it, and then the answer to what is wrong with it is usually the response that you should play. My
Right.
opponent's vital point is blah blah blah.
Right.
So definitely it should be level 3 because
I agree.
we almost solved that one at a glance. Maybe even you think
Absolutely.
probably level 3. I think is good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it should be 19Q to 15Q. That might be a little too much. I want to say 15Q to 10Q should be good.
Yeah. I
What
think so.
category do you think it is?
making life. It's not life and death in the corner because it
Yeah,
doesn't
it's not
have the
life and death
correct
in the corner.
characteristics.
In my
It
mind,
does.
it's either going to be making life or three space I.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what it
Yeah,
is.
either one.
Four space I.
Okay. Four space I. That's interesting.
Because if you
Uh,
connect, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
okay. You know, it's really kind of hard to think about how many points there are in the problem, like,
Hmm.
because well, I suppose it is four spaces.
Um, there's a couple shapes we want to look out for when we're doing that. So when we're talking the size of an eye, uh, there's these types of shapes that come out of a four space eye, right? So
Right.
these are the different four space eye combinations that you can get. We know this one has the Vita point in the center. We know this one's alive. This one is usually alive, and
Yeah.
then this one is usually just dead. And
Right.
so I think the reason it got classified as that is because it's this L shape.
Right.
So once you look at it that way, it looks like an L, but there was a Vita point, so that's why you have to play the Vita point. I'm gonna leave it alone. I think it's fine.
Yeah. It's
But
fine.
it wasn't my first guess, but I think it's fine. But I am gonna shift that to level 3.
Yeah. It probably makes sense to categorize them as a certain number point I when it's possible to do so rather than just making life.
Yeah, that way you can practice certain eye shapes that might be your blind spot. Because
Right.
making eyes is a vast category. This one I solved at a glance, so I think it's
Yeah, I did too.
uh
I did too. Um, because first of all, well, I'm sure I've seen it before. And so I look at it and I say, D19 first
right.
move, obvious, because there's a shortage of liberties. White can't play E19
Right.
in
For
response.
habit's sake, we want to E19 block two eyes. Let's try their move first. We go here, and that's a Solfatari. So that's the order of operations. It kind of turns you into a slow reader, but an accurate reader. So I
Right.
think Paige would hate my method now because Paige would say just solve it. If you know the answer, just solve it because puzzle rush, right?
Well,
So
yeah,
it's a
but I
combination.
want to I want to be better at solving problems, not necessarily quickly, you
Yeah.
know. So
So
I
it's
like your
definitely a
idea.
balance. It's definitely a balance of both for strong reading. But just want you to understand the fundamentally we reduce and then find the vital point when
Right.
the reducing doesn't work. Because in a game, a lot of the times players will just go for the vital point without even reducing, and then they'll just expand the ice space and live, and they've lost points. And I see that
Right.
way more than I should. So yeah, this one I think is very easy.
Yeah.
So
So this is a level 3.
I would. What would I classify this as?
Um,
Uh,
uh,
weird.
taking uh taking what is it? False eye, maybe?
Yeah, I think false eye is a
Make
good one. Taking eyes.
it's interesting. You've got
Hmm.
taking eyes and you've got false eyes. And like for life, you've really only got making life, right? I mean, when it's not categorized as something different.
Right. Um, the idea of false eyes is to give you a more focused set of making life or taking life. So the
Right.
idea of false eyes actually is it is a life and death problem, and it's no different, but it's more focused on how to steal the eye or how to make the eye or something.
Right, right.
And that's the idea. So it's not even wrong that it's in the make eyes or taking eyes. I don't even think that's wrong. I just think if we can classify it as a false eye, let's go ahead and do that to give more practice on stealing eyes for the more specific
Right.
category. Definitely going to lower that to level 3 though.
Yep, for
Far too
sure.
easy. Okay.
All right.
Okay. That one I got, but it didn't. I didn't solve it at an immediate glance. I solved it after like 3 glances. So
Okay.
I think it's level 4.
All right, let's see this. Well, if white gets to play N9, I think they might end up with an I there.
In response to a comment, I find rushing puzzles seriously damaging to more difficult problems. Better to know the answer for certain than to guess based on instinct. I agree with you, but it's also very important to have strong instinct because that tells you where to look. Your instinct tells you what moves to search for or what moves are the vital points. And the reason that is important is because we need to narrow down because in a game, typically there's going to be too many options. So there could be here, 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 and here. And you don't really necessarily need to read all of them. So your instinct of where to look is important. So that's why Puzzle Rush can be good. Fridgeful,
Okay.
Problems can't be labeled more than one at the moment, and that is because I did not realize until after I had developed the categories that that would have been the better idea. It was a mistake in my development strategy. And that's currently why it doesn't do that.
So do you think that there might be instances where there's a problem that you really, really want it to be labeled 2 things? Could you just like submit it twice under each category?
The reason for that is my website makes sure that there's no duplicates of problems.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So whenever you upload a problem, it compares it to all the problems and makes sure that the SGF is not the exact same. So you would have to move 1 stone to do it, but the SGF cannot be the exact same as a Go problem that already exists.
Okay. All right. Okay, now let's think about this problem. I kind of want to play I'm sorry, I kind of want to play N9.
Okay.
So it doesn't become so it doesn't become an I. And
Ooh, that can be a little bit tricky to read.
So, but then again, okay, I'm looking at N12, but if I play N12, white can play M11. But then again, they might not be able. Okay, so if I throw the stone at it N9, that's going to reduce the liberties of the 3 white stones. So the question is, what does white do next? Huh.
So are you at N9 or N12?
I'm thinking about whether or not it makes any sense to play N12 first. But if I do, then white gets to play N9. And then it's going to look like maybe it's going to be I versus I. And so, okay, if black plays N12 and white plays N9, then it looks like a Seki.
Go 1 more move. See if you can read 1 more move.
Okay. Okay. N9, N12. Oh, and then black plays M11 and has 2 eyes.
Yep.
Okay. So, let me think. If black plays N12 first and white plays M11, then I guess black throws in at N9. So I think the first move has got to be N12.
Okay, so would you say that N12, M11, N9 is white dead?
Okay, let me think. Okay, N12, M11, N9. Then white has to take, I guess, at N10.
You don't need to read that far. The concept's already solved that once you get N9. You just have to realize what concept it is.
Oh, false eye.
Yes, but the different category is what I would call it. I wouldn't call this one a false
Taking
eye.
eye. Taking eye.
Nope.
Nope.
We'll go over that in a second. The exercise here we can expand on because we need to realize why throwing in and just taking the eye doesn't work.
You mean as the first move?
Yeah, as the first move, why can't we go here?
Okay. Okay. If we go there for the first move, then white doesn't have to take it. White can play M12, I guess. And then black has a shortage of liberties and can't play M11, right?
Yeah, let me go ahead and show you this.
Okay,
on the
yeah,
board.
let's look at it.
But you said the answer is here, here, and here.
Right.
So I would classify this as I versus no I.
Right. Yes, yes. Yeah. And it's kind of interesting because like when I've been looking at these types of problems with other people, I'll say that like N13 is an I because of white's shortage of liberties, but it gets a little confusing, I think, for people to talk about what's an I and what's not an I.
Shortage of
this kind of a
liberties is not
situation.
always an I. Shortage of liberties means they can't Atari you without self-Atarying.
Exactly. But isn't that what makes N13 an I? Because under normal circumstances, you would not call it an I because you need the stone at M12. But you don't need the stone at M12 because white can't play M12.
Right. This one I would still classify as I versus no I because that's what it is. But for our sake, we can go ahead and look at what shortage of liberties would look like. So let's go to...
I wouldn't call it a shortage of liberties problem. It's just that shortage of liberties has something to do with why it is what it is.
Yes. This is more... yeah, like self-Atari. Because if they connect, they get captured. So it's kind of a shortage.
Right.
This one is also a very common one. Where it's not about an I, it's about you descend and both sides are a self-Atari.
Right.
So that one's a shortage. So this is what I think of when I'm thinking of shortage of liberties. I don't know if I classify this one as shortage. But maybe it is. I don't know. This might be shortage of liberties. This one is I versus no I. It's not I versus no I. You can make an I, and then that becomes a self-Atari, so you can go ahead and take the capture race. This one's tricky. I think I would label this one as capture race. Well, it all the reason it is because it makes it I versus no I. But there's no liberties in between them. That's the big difference. Right. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking of. So this one I would definitely label as I versus no I.
Okay, so wait, is that what they label? Oh, what did they label it as?
Throw-in tactic.
Okay, fine.
And this one I would not be a throw-in, I think. It used throw-in, but it's not the main point of the problem. Where's I versus I? There's. And would you say that's your level or above your level? I think you solved it.
I'd say it's probably my level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, this one's fun. This I think is a blind spot for a lot of people.
All right. If black plays R2.
Thank you for the raid, Paige.
Page Edict just raided with 15 viewers.
Black plays R2. Then what does white do?
So remember where your vital points are in a life and death in the corner.
At the 1, 2, and the 2, 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
So if black plays R2, white well, if black plays R2, then if black were to also get P2, then that would just be instant life for black. So if black plays R2, white probably plays T2, after which black can play black can play R1 and white cannot connect. So it's a crush.
Yeah. Any reason this one doesn't work? Expanding the eye space as big as possible?
White can throw in at R2, and then black can't capture it because it's a snapback.
Perfect.
Yeah, right.
And then boom.
Yep.
Do you know what I call this problem on Smega Dragon?
No, what do you call it?
I call it double Atari.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember that. And the funny thing is, did I tell you that I have created a collection of problems that I call Crush?
Oh, nice.
And so, you know, anytime I encounter something like this, I'll add it to the Crush collection.
Do you know you can share your collection?
I suspected that I could, but I wasn't quite sure how.
So I believe I did it with you. So first I have to go to my
I know you gave me one, and now I'm forgetting how to access it. But
let's see.
I do have a set of collections.
I'm missing a sets button. That's unfortunate. Okay, that's important. Okay, that's important. I'm missing a button.
You're missing a button. Okay, I'm going to go to my Tsumigo Dragon and go to home.
I have a ton of sets.
And if I go, where do I find my collections?
Exactly. The buttons.
Under categories?
No, the button's missing.
The button is missing.
Yeah, I'll add that after the lesson.
Okay, fine. And then just tell me how to share my category with you, and I'll send you my Crush collection.
To get to your sets, it's megadragon.com/sets.
Oh, sumigodragon.com/sets.
Right.
Let me try that.
And then for each one, you can edit them to reorder it or remove problems, or you can view it. When you click on view, it will take you to the problem page, but the URL will say v equals set, view equals set, and then set equals the unique ID of the set.
Okay,
So you can just copy that URL.
I'm going to drop this in our chat.
Okay.
I think that ought to be my set.
Okay, 38 problems.
That sounds about right, because I've been through level 1 all the way through level 1 and level 2, and so every single one that's in level 1 and level 2, except ones that may have been sorted recently, if there was a crush, I found it.
Nice. I'm actually interested to see if they're all labeled as double Atari. So this one's labeled as making life. Oh, whoops. I was expecting a different response. Hold on. Da, da, da. I keep wanting to make the co, and I know that's not the answer. But my eye keeps navigating to the 1-2 point. I'll just do this in a different order. That makes sense. Okay, so making life, this one I would call double Atari. I think you're correct about making that what it is. I don't know why that was a blind spot for me. This one, corner life and death. Not quite, right? Because that's not dealing with the 1-2 point.
It's a crush.
That's a
But
triple
of course, you
Atari.
don't have a category. You don't have a category for that. But the funny thing is, yeah, the double Atari category. I don't know. Sometimes, like when it's a crush, I just wish there was a category for it. But
there was the problem with it was crush makes sense as a term in that sense, but when you're like 20Q, you get double Ataris, and then you never use double Ataris again after you get the cut. So double Atari is like a cut usually, but there's also the double Atari Life and Death known as Crush.
right.
And when I was building out the double Atari category, I either had the option of making double Ataris into cuts and only cuts, or I could expand the double Atari to include the Crush ones because the category was too small by itself if I only did cut double Ataris.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why it became double Atari. It still expanded the double Atari category because there just wasn't enough problems in it. Yeah, that one's double Atari, yeah. 5-point I, no, this is definitely not 5-point I. It looks like it, but this is at least a 6-point I. So you can actually go in here and do these, I think, if you want. Would you say that's level 2 though? I think it would be level 3. Hard to say. I need like my wife to go in here and solve these. See if it struggles or not. Yeah, if you want, you can go ahead and relabel a lot of these because it looks like you're correct.
Well, I have not used any of my editing powers yet. I do appreciate that you made me an editor, and I may eventually start to actually feel confident enough to use my powers, but not yet.
Okay, no worries. I just know we were working on it enough that I think you have a good idea. I don't know how to solve this problem. Hold on, let me think. First, expand the eye space, right? First, we expand the eye space. Then we look for the Vita points, which is usually going to be the tiger's mounts. So let's just take the first one. And then I take this one, and then that's an Atari, so can't do that, which means I have to fix the cut. I do that, and that is looks like a Seki, but I can take the corner. So I go there, you go there. If I try your Vita Point as my Vita Point, you expand out, Atari there, I get one eye, but that's a false eye. So the Vita Point that's standing out to me is this one. But then if you try to escape, I Atari, you Atari, I take. That's fine. So here, it's self-Atari. Here. Ah, there it is. Okay, so here they go down to threaten to get out. You block the connection. They Atari, connect, take, double Atari. There we go.
Yeah, and there's just enough outside liberties to let it happen. No, actually, there's one extra one.
Yeah.
There's 3 outside liberties.
I do think it is higher than level 4. So I agree with it being level 5, 4Q to 1Q. Because I don't know if you'd be able to solve this one, right?
I'm sure I could not do that on my own.
Okay, yeah, I think this one's correct. This is not a double co. That is completely wrong. I bet you they misclicked. I bet you it was a misclick. They probably went down here and then misclicked it.
Probably.
Ooh, another interesting one. It says it's level 4. You want to try to solve it?
Oh, let's see. If black plays A15, uh,
Well, remember, expand the eye space first. What's
oh
wrong
yeah,
with it?
yeah. Okay, so if black plays A17, white maybe plays B13, but then black can play B14. I don't know. I don't know. We're almost out of time anyway, so let's just solve this one.
So the quick answer is just to go here.
Well, that's what I wanted to do.
And then go here, and then that is a double Atari.
Right. Okay, but then it ends up being a crush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's double Atari. But
Yeah, double Atari.
the interesting thing is if you go here, there's multiple responses for white. So you just do that, they do that. That doesn't make any sense.
And then it's dead.
Yeah, why wouldn't you go here? That's alive.
And it's not, yeah, and it's not a crush.
And then you could go here, that's alive.
Right.
Which means this is the wrong response completely. I want to say the response is here. And that's why I said it's tricky, because this one's hard to identify. So if you go for the tiger's mouths, then white can just play on the outside now. And then now it is a 5-space eye where you don't have the Vita Point. And I don't think there's another way for you to play this. Yeah, so this is the response. So it had the wrong counter.
So do you just, if it's the wrong counter, should you just be removing it?
No, I just fixed it. I cut the branch that was wrong and added the correct branch.
Okay.
Which probably I usually don't want the Q players handling the moves because the wrong branches are very important to be correct, which requires you to thoroughly understand it, not just be capable of solving it, but like thoroughly understanding everything in and out of it.
Mhm.
So usually I want the Dawn players to do the branches. But most of the branches are typically good. Um, and then if I go here, yeah. Gotcha. So let's go ahead and save that. Now I have another problem. This is solved 49, mistakes 22. So it looks like it's solvable at level 4. The problem is, I don't think they could kill it if I played A17. I think that is a level 5. So that's an interesting problem. The answer is level 4, but the counter is level 5. That's my opinion anyway. If I had a Blackstone right here and I told you to solve as white, no, maybe you could. If the Blackstone was already obviously here, then maybe you could solve it.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it at level 4. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you can share your sets. I do think you have to be premium to do more than 5, though. So if you share your sets, they can look at each problem, but I don't think they'll be able to solve after a certain amount.
Right.
I believe it's the limit is 5. But yeah, the sets are shareable. Okay. Any questions about anything?
Nope. And this has been fun, and we'll probably do more of it.
Cool. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you. Is it next week or the week after?
I don't think I've scheduled another one yet, so I'll have to look at my calendar and schedule some more.
It'll probably have to be next week because it looks like someone else got on the 7th.
Okay, somebody scheduled for the 7th.
Yeah, 2 weeks
Okay.
from now, someone's already scheduled, so it'll have to be next week or in 3 weeks.
All right.
Actually, I'm going to mark myself busy because that is Valentine's Day.
Okay, you're going to be busy on Valentine's Day. Okay, so it may be a while before we have a lesson because I think I have a commitment for next Friday.
Yeah.
But what I should do is go and schedule a little more in advance so that
Yeah,
I can grab the Fridays.
I'm gonna take Valentine's Day off. I think that'll be an important day to not work.
Okay, do you remember what time they scheduled on the 7th?
On the 7th, they are at 1 p.m.
Okay, is it a 1 hour lesson?
Yes.
Okay, in which case I could schedule for 3:15 at my time, which would be 2:15 your time, because you do
I
have
think so. And
you,
they also
you
said
got
it's streamable, so I could stream both lessons.
yeah, so you've got a 15-minute time in between lessons. Yeah, so it would only be 2:15, wouldn't be 2.
Yeah.
All right, I might do that.
All right. Yeah, Go is not my first love. It is my second love. I still love Go, but not as much as I love my wife.
That's a good thing. Got to keep your priorities straight.
All right.
All right.
Hope you enjoyed,
Thank
and I'll
you.
see you next time.
Yep. Bye-bye.
And shout outs to Congress, the AGA Congress, which that's linked to the European one, but the AGA Congress is doing signups. European is giving a large discount though until March 31st. So if you're in Europe and you're attending, make sure to sign up before March 31st for the biggest discount. AGA, I'm not sure when their biggest discount ends, but I believe they also have early bird discount, so be sure to check into that. I want to say AGA's is 50% off, but I need to get on that. They need to get back to me about the details. Let's see, usgo.org. And then how do I get to it? 2025 Go Congress. There we go. ATX 2025. That's an interesting URL. Prices and options. The early bird rates are $50 off. That's it. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should be supporting this more. I need to be quiet. 17 and under is free for the early bird, it looks like. Or it looks like youth is free regardless. I want to be a young adult. That's like so much difference in money. So right now, adult is $450, young adult is $300. And then early bird rates, or the regular rates, not the early bird, is $500 for the adult and $350 for young adult and youth. So if you're youth, sign up now while it's free. So if you're 17 and under and you're planning on going, sign up while it's free. Otherwise, it's $350. I don't know if they thought that through. That's an interesting difference. Youth must register by May 1st to claim free registration. You know what my theory is? My theory is that maybe it's being covered by the AGF, and if you sign up late, then you have to cover yourself instead of the AGF covering you. That might be what it is. Yeah, here's the link for that. And if you're interested in getting lessons like the one you just saw, I do teach Go for a living, and we are moving next month, so lessons are currently buy one, get one free. So if you buy a bundle pack of lessons, you get twice as many as the bundle says. So for the 6-month pack, you get 12 lessons instead of 6 lessons. And for the 12-month pack, you get 24 lessons instead of 12 lessons. All lesson packs do come with a Samago Dragon subscription as well. So you will get like 6 months free for the 6-month pack. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. And before I forget, I need to make sure I upload the lesson. That's youtube.com/profile/bazaar. Okay. That is that, and then we did Samago Dragon puzzles. Okay, good to go on that. Okay, with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and raid a bats. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today, found it educational and helpful, and I will see you guys next time.